Hi and welcome to this video. My name is Aishwarya Dongre IPS and I belong to the 2017 batch and belong to the belong to the Kerala cadre. I am currently posted as Assistant Commissioner of Police in Trivandrum city, that is the capital of Kerala. A little about my background. I am from Bombay, Maharashtra, and I have completed my Bachelor of Arts, that is BA, in Economics and Political Science from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai in the year 2015, post which I took 1 year off to prepare for the civil service examination and clear this examination in my very first attempt in the year 2016 at the age of 22. A lot of people ask me, what is it about you that is so special that makes you clear the examination in the first attempt? I really wonder what is it that makes this examination so unique that people say you cannot clear it in the first attempt. So I took it up as a challenge. When I began preparing, people told me that you cannot clear this examination in the first attempt. I took it up as a challenge and I took it up on my ego to understand why could I not do it. I had my goals very clear since about 8th or 9th standard in school. I was clear I wanted to work for the government machinery, work for the people of the country, work for the nation. These are small goals that gradually built up. Very preliminary knowledge of UPSC or the civil service examination, because coming from Bombay, coming from a metro city, the exposure is more towards commercial enterprises or to media uptowns. But I had my ground clear about wanting to work for the people and for the nation as a whole. So over a period of time, I began realizing that the UPSC was a great opportunity to serve the people. So post my 10th standard itself, I was very clear that I wanted to take humanities. Choosing humanities is not crucial. Humanities is also known as the arts field. So it is not crucial in preparing for this examination, but I would like to say that it really helped me. So since my 11th standard till my graduation, that is 5 years, I had a continuous interaction with the humanities field. During college, I was very clear that yes, my end goal is obviously clearing the UPSC examination, but you're going to enjoy college once. So I took all that it takes to enjoy college life. I very clearly say that I did not start preparing for my civil service examination until my graduation. I graduated in the month of March, and it was since April 2015 that I began preparing. I could not give the examination immediately that year since I yet had to complete a certain age so to be able to give the examination. So I decided to take a year off. I shifted to Delhi and to get myself into the entire process of preparing for the civil service, because I felt at that time there were not much opportunities within my city, and there is this whole rush that everybody has to go to Delhi. So I followed the herd community. I reached Delhi, I joined some classes over there. It was great because it provided the basis which was needed to enable myself to launch in the preparation for this examination. I took 1 year completely off, which meant I was not studying for or working or doing anything other than a sole dedicated attention to the UPSC. So I began dedicated studies and reading the newspaper in the fashion of studying as a UPSC aspirant on 23rd May 2015. I very well remember this because I prepared registers, like for example taking the newspaper and all my current affairs, I would write them in registers. So I remember this date because I had written it down. So 23rd May 2015 is when I started preparing actually for the civil service examination. What is it about me that made me clear it in the first attempt is something I yet cannot answer, and I don't think it requires so much attention other than the fact that I was really determined to clear the examination. I gave in my heart and my soul to work really hard. A lot of people are waiting to clear this examination. A lot of people are working hard, Why should you be different? You should be different because probably you have to learn to believe in yourself, believe that hard work is the key to success, and there can be no shortcuts. You have to be sincere, dedicated, and honest in your preparation. So a couple of points which I thought I should probably speak of when one speaks of doing this examination. Number one, and the most preliminary, is reading the newspaper. I focused on reading the Hindu itself. A lot of people try to read two newspapers, try to gather a lot of information, which I think is not necessary. You can concentrate on one newspaper, and the Hindu worked amazing for me. And we have to understand the importance of the newspaper, because the UPSC is waiting to pick up students, pick up aspirants, pick up civil servants from all over the country, and they have to get some source which is available everywhere, and the newspaper is a source which is available everywhere. So yes, I spent a lot of time on studying from the newspaper. To be very honest, I took about 3.5 hours itself to read the newspaper. I maintained separate registers. For example, one register for international relations, one register for economics, one register for society. So these kind of registers, like for example, in my register, if there was some news on India-China, so I would open a new column that says India-China, and whatever is in the newspaper today which is of importance, I will note it down in the register. I will leave couple of pages and say some other news is about say some bilateral deal which is important. I would probably make a mention of that. I would leave pages. So now, over a period of 1.5 years of reading the newspaper, any edition of India and China or bilateral deals or something that came in the newspaper that needed mention, I would note it down in these columns. The reason I did this is because it consolidates information. Cutting newspaper clippings and just reading the newspaper without making current affair notes or depending on other sources is something I thought would not work for me, because I wanted to do something where I am writing it, and I believe that if I write, I would remember better. So that was number one. Number two is there are lots of sources available in the market. Like for history, there would be like 10 books, and for polity, there would be 20 books. It is important that you pick on one source for one subject. The UPSC is not checking on your memory skills. It is not checking about how much you can remember. It is about how you can analyze, how you can retain the knowledge and produce that knowledge. So you have to do that very tactfully, and that can be done with one book. One book on history is going to teach you more than probably 10 books could, because that one book will allow you to revise again and again. We have to come to accept that we cannot remember everything that we study, but what we study is something which should always be remembered. So I always believed in something which somebody had once told me: you should know something of everything and everything of something. So when I restricted myself to studying from one source, it was really useful because it enabled me quicker revision. I did not have to have so many books. Psychologically also it was good. If I had to study history or if I had to study geography, I had just one book in front of me instead of 20 books in front. So that proved to be very useful. Number three, I worked a lot on solving questions and taking a lot of these challenges. For example, there are lots of these mock questions and mock papers that you should solve. So closer to the prelims, I solved at least 100 questions on a daily basis. That is, at least 3 months prior to the examination, I did at least 70 to 100 questions daily. It is okay that if you do not know the answers, the idea is to be exposed to different sorts of questions. The preliminary idea of doing this is not to tell you that I have done so many questions, say for example 30,000 questions. That is not the aim. The aim is to tell you that the more you practice, the more you will get confident, and the confidence comes when you go on revising. Like for example, to be very honest, like in my first exam, out of 100 I would probably get like a 10 mark or a 15 mark, because only those many answers were correct. But if I let myself feel low about it, it would have been bad. So over a period of time, that 10 marks, 15 marks became 30, 30 became 35, 35 became 40. So that is how you see your progress. You never compare, you should not compare yourself with others. It is very, very likely that you will see your friend doing much better than you, and you feeling that you're not reaching or doing, you know, the way you should. This happens, and understand that the UPSC is trying to test you also as a person, not just your knowledge, not just your writing skills, but how you are as a person. There's going to be so much competition, there is going to be so much stress, there's going to be so much anxiety, so much psychological pressure, so much multitasking. For example, some of you would be working, some of you have families, some of you are studying, but yet you have to prepare for this examination. So you have to juggle all these things and yet put in a lot of effort. This then translates when you become a civil servant. You have to manage your family, you have to manage so many other elements that come into factor when you are working. So the UPSC is looking for these skills, and these skills come over a period of time, and these skills are tested when you prepare for the examination. A certain sense of discipline is very important. I created a schedule which really worked for me actually. In the beginning, like for example, from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. is what I studied, and 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I did this, and 7 a.m. I did this. So I was very particular about what I studied. When I had this chart in place, my schedule in place, this actually gave a direction to my day, and I did not feel useless and hopeless about what should I do next. I had it scheduled. So for the next week, I would prepare it over the weekend. This gave me clarity about my goals for the week. This may work for some people, for others, you know, having timetables may not work. So you have to see what works for yourself. Number 4 is there are lots of materials available online on various platforms, but lots of people, like for example, you will hear me speak, you will hear other people on Free Academy speak, or any other YouTube page or online course. You have to see what works for you. What probably worked for me may not work for you, and you have to accept it. You have to devise your strategy. If for example there is a Sumesh, or there is an Aditya, or there is a Tina who has said, okay, you should do ABC, and you try to do ABC, but you cannot follow it and it is not working for you, it's okay. Take that pause, understand it. You should be aware and always be able to evaluate yourself, that what you are doing is correct. Is it working for you? Just because it worked for me, just because it worked for somebody else, need not mean that it worked for you. Do not read too many, number 5, do not read too many sources. There are lots of magazines, lots of articles available. Restrict what you study, restrict what you read, because understand your brain also has a capacity. You have to work according to that. You cannot act like a robot and feed in a lot. Whatever you feed, whatever you read, has to have some kind of output. It should lead to some result. So you should know that what you are studying is actually going to lead you somewhere. The next thing is about when you prepare, always try to connect, static matters. Like general studies में अगर बताया गया है कि ठीक है 1 to 10 आपको पढ़ना है, तो 1 to 10 पढ़िए और try to relate it to current matters. It is when you actually produce this in your answers, especially in your mains examination, the person who is seeing and reading your paper will feel, okay, this person knows his current affairs, this person knows her current affairs, and is kind of relating it to her static matter. This, I assume, is some kind of information which everybody gives. Constant revision, constant reading of the newspaper, reading only some limited resources and doing it again and again. But one thing that I feel is very, very crucial throughout, and I feel that it yet stands with me, is hard work. Number two is sincerity. Number three is finding peace within yourself. You have to understand that this is a very draining process. Physically, mentally, emotionally, you might feel really low. You will feel, what if I don't reach there? What if I don't clear at all? What if my friend clears and what if I don't? Remember, the UPSC is not the end of the world. I was very clear that my larger goal was to serve the people. The UPSC was just a means to this larger end. So you understand, the end was to serve the people, was to serve the country. But the means, one of the means is the UPSC. I had to come to terms with the fact that, okay, if I do not clear the UPSC, I have other means. My end goal is going to remain the same. My means can change. So be very clear about this. You have to push yourself. I always consider the preparation as something like, it's a boxing ring, and you're going to be beaten up black, blue and center due to the pressure, due to the amount of social pressure that comes, the own pressure that you create, your own ambition, then people around you, social media, everything is going to build up a lot of pressure. It's going to push you down and you're going to be sweating and bleeding. But that moment when you get up and realize, no, this is my battle and I will win, nobody can stop you. You have to have that confidence within yourself. I did not realize this, in fact, in the first part of my preparation. It took me some time to realize this. You have to understand, you're not the first and you're not the last who's giving this examination. Lots of people before you have given this examination, lots of people after you would give this examination. So there is nothing that is out of the world. You have to just ensure that you work hard and remain very dedicated and sincere to your work. With regard to use of social media, I personally feel social media has its own advantages and disadvantages. For me, it proved to be more of a disadvantage because I was getting very distracted. It's a personal choice. If you feel social media helps you, go ahead, but try to keep distractions of too much interaction or socializing, keep it aside, because you have to put wholehearted efforts and dedication when you are preparing for this. You need to give complete concentration. The other thing is, you should also pursue a hobby. This is because you have to realize, as I've already said, that you are not a robot. You need timely breaks. You need a change in atmosphere. So may it be, for example, for me, dancing worked. For you, maybe music works, or going for a drive, going for a short trek. These small things once a week you should definitely do. This is actually to recharge your body, recharge your brain. For example, this brain also has a certain absorption capacity. If you push it beyond, it will expand and it will explode. You don't want to reach that level. Also realize that stress, anxiety, all these things are going to be part of the process. If you feel that the stress and anxiety is only for this UPSC preparation, let me burst your bubble and tell you that's not true. It's the preparation for the UPSC examination is just the starting point. Once you enter into the service, once your career begins as a civil servant, lots of things are going to come up. So you have to be able to juggle all these things really well. I would like to conclude by saying that the UPSC civil service examination is not a Herculean task. It is not a very big thing. You can very much clear it. You do not have to be a particular age. You do not have to have a particular language. You do not need to belong to a particular community, to a particular state to excel in this examination. All you need are certain qualities which the country is looking for and which will serve the people. You should have your goals clear. If your goals are something which are very superficial, for example, getting a car, getting a big house, I think these kind of goals over a period of time will vanish. But if your goals about serving people, serving the country, and your heart swelling with pride, like when I wear the uniform, my heart swells with pride. When we see the national flag being unfurled, it swells my heart with pride. These are things that are going to push me forward. So you have to find things that are going to push you forward, going to enable you to reach your goal. You see somebody in need, you see you can help that person. You want to reach out to people. You feel that in your current job or in your current state you're not able to reach out to people, and UPSC is one of the ends, one of the means to reach that. It definitely is. But do not lose hope. The UPSC is looking for people with a positive approach. They're looking for minds that are ready to change, that are ready and are revolutionary to change the world, are ready to change the country. You have to be ziddi. वो जिद दिखनी चाहिए कि हाँ, I am here and I mean business. Your positivity, your sincerity, your dedication, all has to come out. And this does not come out after clearing the civil service examination. It is going to be seen throughout your preparation. So I would like to summarize in a couple of points. Number 1, do not read too many sources. Number 2, the newspaper is very important. Number 3 is do not listen to too many people, too many resources. See what works for you and go ahead. Number 4, revise a lot. It is very important that you continuously go on revising. Keep one day in the week to revise. Number 5, practice a lot. Do a lot of mock tests. Do a lot of papers. Get them evaluated. Show them to probably professors or to people who are in the service, who are ready to read your papers, or for example this academy which is ready to evaluate your papers, for example, give it to them. Get an honest feedback. Number 6, you're going to get a lot of stress, you're going to have a lot of anxiety, you will have a lot of breakdowns, but it is normal. If you feel really low, please don't push it away. Experience that feeling. These kind of feelings are going to make you strong. If you feel sad, if you feel like crying, if you feel like anger, it's all normal. Don't push it away saying that no, I cannot feel like this. You have to feel like this. This is how each civil service aspirant feels. So what you feel like this is not wrong at all. Number 7 is your sincerity, dedication, hard work is something that is actually going to reap you benefits. Number 8, believe in yourself. It is extremely, extremely crucial that you believe that you can do this. Maybe when you're watching this video, probably you're giving it for the first time, or you're watching it and you're going to be giving your 5th attempt. It does not matter. Your next attempt has to be your best attempt, and that is possible only with you and with all the efforts that you put in. Number 9 is pursue a hobby. Keep something that will make you feel happy. Keep yourself light, keep yourself positive. And number 10, and the most crucial, is be happy. Understand the world all over is going through a lot. So you have to stand up strong against the tide. You have to hold yourself tight. And for that, you need the support of your family. You need the support of your friends. If that is there, it's brilliant. If you don't have it, it's also okay. You have your own back. You should, after each day, pat your back and say, hey Aishwarya, you've done a really good job. You should have that confidence to do that for yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you, hey, you're doing good, hey, you're doing bad. You will have an inner conscience that will tell you what you're doing is correct, or if what you're doing is wrong. Understand, the UPSC is just a means to the larger end. The larger end is to serve the people, is to work for the country, but the means is the UPSC civil service examination. You pass this road, you pass this means, you succeed, you will be able to serve people. But even if you do not pass, it's absolutely okay. There are lots of other means to serve people. There are lots of other means to work for the country, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job. So clearing the examination, as I say, in the first attempt at the age of 22, probably you look at it as a very massive achievement, but for me it is just an end result of everything that I believed in and everything I yet believe in. So I hope you take something back. Maybe this video is for about 20-25 minutes. Even if you take back 1 to 2 minutes of what I have said, I hope it works for you. And even if it does not, it's okay. You can just be calm about it. And I'm sure wherever you do, wherever you go, whatever you do, I'm sure you're going to do a really great job. So thank you, and also thank you to the Academy for thinking it great to have me speak to your audience.